Wow, what a week of Champions League football, filled with surprise upsets and pure dominance across the board. The UCL League phase is in full effect, and the table for the competition is starting to shape up. The top teams are showing their class, deservedly sitting above the rest. Other teams are falling short. 24 places to finish that allow teams to progress to the knockouts. It's going to be a good year for Champions League football, especially evident after those blockbuster matches that recently just went down. The games I'm referring to, of course, being Liverpool versus Madrid, 1-0 win to Liverpool under the Anfield lights. Also, Bayern Munich versus PSG. PSG being the home side, getting beaten 2-1 by Bayern Munich. We are going to get into both of these games in this video. Two blockbuster fixtures hard to pass up on. Let's start with the Liverpool and Real Madrid match. As I said, at Anfield, the same fixture from last season, Champions League phase match, just went down under a year ago, back when Carlo Ancelotti was in charge of Real, when Kylian Mbappe wasn't firing for Madrid as of yet, and that was an embarrassing night for them. 2-0 loss, Kylian Mbappe having a penalty saved of his. That match being the evidence that Real Madrid last season were not themselves. Following that match, obviously Liverpool went on to get knocked out in the round of 16 against PSG. Got knocked out of Europe pretty early, but still won the Premier League. Actually, Liverpool also had a really tough run of fixtures at this time last season as well, and got through it, really showing their grit and determination to go on and achieve things. Now this season, it's very different. Now Xabi Alonso's in charge of Madrid, ex-Liverpool player. And who would I be if I didn't mention this? Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving Liverpool in the summer, returning to his old stadium to face his boyhood club. Obviously going to Real Madrid in the transfer window. Trent now on the side of Real Madrid instead of Liverpool. Liverpool being the club he spent 21 years at and 354 games in a Liverpool shirt. And so there was plenty of storylines going into this match. Not to mention the form that both of these teams were on as well. Madrid almost having a perfect start to the season. 10 wins from 11 games in La Liga. And flawless in the Champions League before this tie. They were the team to beat. And as for Liverpool, their form has been in the gutter previously, picking up 4 consecutive losses on the spin and getting knocked out of the EFL Cup before they managed to turn it around against Aston Villa. Arne Slot going back to his old ways tactically, reverting back to the team shape that won him the league last season, playing his old reliable players in a system that they know and are familiar with. And Liverpool opted to keep that same lineup that worked against Aston Villa, Robertson over Kirkes, that midfield three that just works so well and work in tandem off each other, Sosa-Blai, McAllister and Gravenberch. Slot's only change coming in the attack. Mo Salah, of course, in there. Ekitike, the only fit number 9. But Florian Wirtz playing off the left wing. Starting in a big game like this, maybe going into it, you would have thought Cody Gakpo would be the better option. But Wirtz playing in that position changed the game and made the difference in that match. All because of the way he worked off the ball. Out of possession, Wirtz was pressing like a madman, winning the ball high up the pitch on Madrid's byline at times, giving players like Dean Huijsen a nightmare. Because him especially, he's the centre-back that wants to look nice on the ball and spray passes out wide. But Madrid as a whole, and him included, were forced to hoof the ball up the pitch just to get it out of danger, due to Liverpool's high press. Slot bringing that tactic back into the fray, revitalising it now even without players that fit into it so well, like Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz. Mo Salah being given that license to chill out of possession of the ball, because he's got 9 other outfield teammates doing all the running for him. Madrid couldn't deal with their lack of possession, unable to really do anything at times. The midfield 4 of Bellingham, Goulet and Tchouaméni, Camavinga, they were just fully suffocated and suppressed. That midfield unit working so well against Barcelona, but not here against Liverpool. Liverpool's own midfield were just on top of them, and them being able to control the game due to that fact. Primarily using that right side of Salah and Sosa-Blai when he shifts out there to progress the ball up the field. Madrid forced to hold on defensively and only staying afloat because of one man. Thibaut Courtois, he was insane. And isn't he just always when he faces Liverpool? He was ridiculous. At least 4 huge saves in that first half. So many big chances for Liverpool, but he was there to meet them and stop them. Real Madrid had some chances themselves, only 1 or 2 in the end. Jude Bellingham with their best chance probably of the whole game, but it stayed 0-0 going into the second half. That first half could have gone differently because Liverpool might have just been robbed of a penalty. Handball on Tchouaméni just inside the penalty area. The ball strikes the hand of him, deemed to be in a natural position but serious controversy surrounding it, and the referee going back on his original decision to give Liverpool a penalty after VAR intervenes. Still, 0-0 the score was. Liverpool absolutely dominating but not being able to make it count as of that moment. And the second half was more of the same, honestly. Madrid didn't look any better, maybe even a little bit worse. Very sloppy build-up play. Sloppy challenges on Liverpool players from them as well. So deservedly, Liverpool did get ahead. 1-0 lead from a McAllister header. Great delivery into the box, right into the danger zone. In between and amongst the crowd of players. McAllister, the smallest man in the box, winning the header. Slightly nods it towards goal and it's enough to get it past Thibaut Courtois. That was the decisive moment in the game. Liverpool finally being able to get past Courtois in net, and Liverpool should have been up 2-0 late on as well. Both Salah and Gakpo unable to put the ball in the back of the net, and the game did still end in their favour though. Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0. And to round off this segment, let's talk about some of those performances from a Real Madrid perspective. Vinicius Jr., stinker. Connor Bradley fully locked him up. Kylian Mbappe, pretty ineffective, but he did nearly score once. He looked off. Some of his touches were not there. And Trent, he did see the pitch. Initially a substitute, came on in the 80th minute, and boos and squeals came flooding in from across the whole stadium. Every time he touched the ball, the noise level went up a notch. Not the ideal reception he would have hoped for after what he gave to Liverpool Football Club. Clearly tension still remains between Liverpool fans and Trent. Now, speaking of tension, what about this PSG and Bayern Munich match? A game between two of the best teams. PSG definitely being the best team in the world last season. They got a Champions League trophy to their name. They faced off against the best team so far this season, Bayern Munich. The team with statistically the best start in football history to a season. 15 wins from 15 matches. They are just relentless right now. And this win that they achieved, 2-1 win against the reigning champions of the competition, it's a statement win from Bayern. Really putting themselves at the forefront to quite possibly be the favourites this year. Because beating PSG in the fashion that they did, they look scary. Our PSG team with Ousmane Dembele back before he prematurely had to come off the pitch. Kvaratskhelia back, Vitinha at the base of the midfield. A full strength back line. Just how did PSG get dominated that badly in that first half? Inside 4 minutes, Bayern found themselves already up 1-0. Nasty flicking behind from Gnabry to Elise, who had his shot blocked. But then the ball bounces and finds its way to Luis Diaz, who puts the ball in the back of the net. And from then on, Bayern did not take their foot off the gas whatsoever, even being 1-0 up. Pressure from their front line onto the PSG defenders. Barcola making tons of mistakes, giving the ball away. And of course, Marquinhos having that bozo moment. Horrible mistake at the back, getting caught in possession by Luis Diaz. Diaz just swoops in and pickpockets the ball off of him, and then he goes on to score. Marquinhos giving the ball away so easily, so lackadaisical from the captain of the team, who scanned and checked if he was being pressured, but still allowed Diaz to get the ball off of him. And PSG defensively vulnerable as a whole. Even Hakimi and Nuno Mendes. Not good enough in possession with their build-up. Could have been 4 or 5-0 on a different day. Vincent Kompany schooling Luis Enrique tactically. Massive let-off for PSG as Bayern didn't put the game to bed in that first half alone. Serge Gnabry hit the post. Kane was relatively quiet. But honestly, the main blows for PSG being the injuries that their players picked up. Dembele not feeling 100% after just coming back from a prior injury. Also another big player for them, Achraf Hakimi. That horrible challenge from Luis Diaz sees Hakimi get injured. His left foot caught under Diaz as he slides into him, earning Diaz an initial yellow card before it was raised to a red card for endangering Hakimi. And in danger he did. Hakimi's ankle was fully twisted. He couldn't even walk off the pitch. That's how bad Diaz caught him. Bayern down to 10 men for the whole second half now. They did have a 2-goal lead, but it's never over with this PSG team. Enrique with a much better setup for his team in the second half. Obviously with that extra man over Bayern. Zaire Emery filling in at right back for Hakimi. Lee Kang-in, who came in for Dembele, was creatively elite. Bayulu came on for PSG, so many attacking outlets for them to get back into the game. Bayern at this point pretty much forced to defend and only hit PSG on the break with their insufficient numbers. They had their fair few of opportunities, but it was always going to be an uphill battle. PSG putting everything on the line to get back into the game. They managed to get 1 goal back courtesy of João Neves. Volleys the ball in from a Lee Kang-in cross. Bounces past Manuel Neuer in the goal, and PSG are right back into the tie. PSG kept pushing for a second, came close with that same duo lighting up the pitch. Kang and Neves making a chance from a cross that went wide. Zaire Emery had a close-range chip shot that was saved by Neuer. Bayern parking the bus to get the result over the line. Harry Kane and Elise getting subbed off for more defensive-oriented players. And Bayern did, of course, get over the line. Bayern Munich 2, PSG 1. 16 wins in 16 matches in all competitions for Bayern Munich now, and they are right up there as favourites. They have to be. Especially them. Arsenal also look good. And Inter Milan going under the radar. Also flawless in the Champions League like those other two. The Champions League is starting to get spicy. Couple weeks from now, Barcelona and Chelsea play each other. Big game at Stamford Bridge. And actually Bayern and Arsenal do face each other. That's going to be a massive game. Many more blockbusters to come from this competition this year. Let me know what you guys think about the results this week in the Champions League, especially the matches I covered today. Liverpool beating Madrid and Bayern beating PSG. Let me know down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.